Good morning, entrepreneurs, and welcome to show number 144. Happy Friday, April 10th, 2026. I'm Kim White. I'm honored to be your host for the show today and honored to be joined by the lovely Jill Olish. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning, Kim. It's a pleasure to be co-hosting today with you. I am always glad to be filling this seat when I get the chance to. And I'm glad to be filling this seat to talk to you guys watching and listening today, because Good Morning Entrepreneurs is for you. It's for you because either if you're dreaming about becoming an entrepreneur, or if you're in those early years of building, like most of us who are on the show are, you have got to be in the right place, because you'll hear some great wins from us. You'll hear some great questions. You've got questions. You are going to get some answers, and you are going to figure out all of this alongside with us in real time. So I'm glad you're watching and joining us today for the show. This space is for the experiments, the pivots, and the wait, is this normal? Those moments that we're always questioning. And it's the honest conversations about what it really looks like to build something of your own while everything around you keeps changing. So around here, we've started calling that world of ours Entrepreneur Land. It's the land that we live in. So we're going to head right into the beginning of our show in Entrepreneur Land and talk about what it really looks like here.
I love that intro, Jill. I'll just have to say out loud, the theme for the show today is change. So change, aka flexibility in your business, is what you will hear woven throughout the show. So change, even good change, is hard for most of us. I'll just say that. But change is normal. It's not about failure. I think that's what I thought for a long time. If I have to change something, it means I failed, but it's not. It's not proof you got something wrong. It's proof you are paying attention, which is more important. In business, flexibility is a strength and really a superpower for success. You're allowed to adjust your plans, your offers, and messaging as you learn. And if you're not adjusting, you need to be open to that change, because you want to do the best job you can for your business.
Mm-hmm. And if you find yourself like Kim and I, who are a little control freaky, change is being open to the possibilities, to learning and to pivoting. I have to learn that the hard way. We got to let go of the reins a little bit. Every segment today is looking at one small way that entrepreneurs live with change and learn to move with it instead of fighting it. So I'm really excited to see how we can pull this theme in today.
Well, speaking of not fighting change, we want to frame our next segment because it is full of change. It's about celebrating that flexibility and change. It's not about bragging, but please join us as we celebrate this week's wins and all the changes around here.
Thank you, Kim and team. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the GME Chronicles. I'm Jill Olish, and I've got your community updates. The GME Chronicles is our space to celebrate how we're moving the needle in our businesses. We share these numbers out loud, not to show off, but to show it's possible when we build and grow together. To catch you up, here's what's been happening around the community. In the Fit for Life Alliance community, Cat hosted 4 classes. Yvonne, she hosted the Age Agitators Club gathering, bringing together women ready to smash their midlife funk, share stories, cheer each other on, and take bold action to rock their next chapter. And I hosted the Mama Outspoken Village Gathering, a community space for moms in their postpartum season. Inside the My Sexy Business community, we gathered for Showtime Mastermind, with one session helping entrepreneurs launch or level up their show, podcast, or live stream with more strategy, accountability, and a smoother, faster process. There was Website Royalty, the place to get your Kajabi website questions answered within the My Sexy Business community. Also, Fire Up Masterminds around 38 and 39, which is supporting fierce leaders who are ready to serve hard, use irresistible, not creepy marketing, build relational businesses, and truly empower others. Plus, there was Groundwork Brigade Mastermind, our Choose Your Own Adventure business mastermind with real-time strategy, tech help, and accountability. On the content front, we saw new releases from our writers. Donna posted a new blog, An Everyday Bag That Fits Real Life. Kat posted a new blog, If Your Body Gives Out, Where Are You Going to Live? And Adam posted 4 new interviews, one with Wendy Lane Bailey, one with Cyrus Debu, one with Desi Waters, and one with Alex Kolchak. On the live stream front, Donna went live with a big show and tell, where Donna Bender shows you how to use right branded products and gifts to stay top of mind, build your brand, and grow your business. My Sexy Business went live with the website Royalty Town Hall, and we aired episode 143 of Good Morning Entrepreneurs. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel for My Sexy Business so you're never missing an upcoming show or new clips. On the podcast side, check out the Buckets and Boomgates podcast, hosted by Kim White and me, Jill Olish. We share behind the scenes stories, confessions, and cautionary tales from real entrepreneurs who want a business they own, not one that owns them, with plenty of clarity, boundaries, and giggles along the way. Head to your favorite podcatcher to listen along with these podcasts: Sisters in Service, SEO Day, Late Bloomer Living, Bearing It All with Call Me Adam, 5 and 15 Interviews Leadership Series, Mucked Up My Self-Care, and Mama Outspoken. You can connect with all of our roving reporters through the GME directory. Just head to mysexybusiness.com/GME to find everyone there. All of this activity brings our count for this week to 24, making the grand total 7,442. Amazing things done collectively by this community in just 4 years and counting. We are looking forward to sharing even more updates next week. If you're ready to join in on the fun around here, you can find us with Denise on April 14th for their Keywords in Action workshop, a space to understand where to use your keywords for maximum impact in your business, and inside the My Sexy Business community for Fierce Entrepreneur Summit, April 15th at 10 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 p.m. Eastern. It's a lively, spicy, and sexy roundtable discussion about the pros and cons of podcasts, shows, and live streams for your business, held and led by the Fire Up Masterminders. Plus, there's website royalty, Groundwork Brigade Mastermind, and of course, wherever you're watching now for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. Back to you in the GME studio.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good job, Jill. I think the Chronicles just get better and better.
Oh, well, they get harder and harder. I don't know how many more weeks I have left in me to do this without losing my breath.
I love it. And just for the record, so everybody knows, Jill announced the big surprise, what, a couple shows
weeks ago, yep.
that she is
expecting, yes. And it gets harder to, I mean, I take breaths. There's secrets behind recording that segment, but it is still hard.
I love it. Well, we have a special video to play today. That's a quick little shout out for you, Jill, that you did not know we were going to do. And I love it. Love when we can surprise somebody. But we have a video. We just want to honor something that has been going on for you, and a milestone video.
And here I thought it was a different video.
We love when we can surprise Jillo. Jillo's in the know about everything around here, so we love when we can surprise her. But 150,000 visitors is like so impressive because that's 150 lives represented, mamas coming to, be encouraged, inspired by you. So I want to make sure we say congratulations and
You.
happy
Thank
150,000.
you. It's a good thing to celebrate.
Well, honoring the season you're in now, most of the time requires change because when you made your plan, it may have been made months or weeks ago, but I will tell you there are some plans we made years ago, and then we're confused by why we have to change in the now, but it has evolved. It has changed over the first idea to here. So you don't have to commit to one strategy or one plan. I think everybody needs to hear this like several times today. You don't have to commit to that forever. It is you commit for a season and then review and adjust. I think, Jill, you are a beautiful example of things shifting with your pregnancy and with, expecting and adjusting things. So, I'm very proud of you. And I love that you can be living proof of that change can be very beautiful.
Thank you. It's hard. That control freaky is hard. But yeah, when life is shifting, it's easy to feel like we've lost our way. Yes, I have felt like I've lost my way. But there's a powerful idea from the military world that can steady you in those moments of change. That's the heart of our Military Minute, brought to you by Sisters in Service podcast and host Cat Corchado. So let's take a moment now to hear Cat's thoughts on change.
How do you apply the concept of mission from your military service to your business?
That was really easy. The mission changes, but there's always a mission. There's always a point A, and you want to get to point B. What's the most functional way to get there? How do I get there? The missions change, but it's still a mission. I'm trying to be successful in my business. How do I get there? That's where I apply all of the things I've learned in the military to that. So the mission is different, but it's still a mission. Just like anything else. I have a mission to go to the grocery store at 11 a.m. Not today. It's a mission, right? When you've got a bunch of things on your list and you get them done, you're like, yes. Don't you feel good? You're like, oh, I got my mission done. So I think that being in the military, the concept of mission from my military service is most absolutely applied to my business all the time, every day.
I think that's a super helpful perspective to put on some of the things we have to do in business and for business. Oh, yeah. But I don't know.
I love her quote though. There's always a mission. They change, but it's still a mission.
I love that. And it's very applicable to business. I mean, once we finish one, there's another. And it's all for the same purpose, solving someone else's problem, right? Well, if you're listening right now, I'd like for you to ask yourself this question. If your current plan disappeared tomorrow, what mission would still be true for you underneath the details, right? Our purpose. What is that?
Juicy question.
So if that question is stirring anything up for you, especially around how you're showing up online, you don't have to figure it out alone. Kim and Denise, they both host the Website Royalty Town Hall on YouTube, streaming live every Thursday at 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. Eastern. It's your chance to bring your Kajabi website questions and get real-time answers and support to keep your mission visible and moving.
I think it's hard whenever you're on a mission when you don't have that support. And I think support can make all the difference in mission accomplished or mission, failed. So I love Website Royalty Town Hall.
It's a good spot to go get support. And, sometimes we're afraid of being in person with someone. So it's a great step to to be able to watch you guys and still do things without having to put ourselves out there too much. Well, with all of the changes that we're making in our businesses, our websites don't always keep up. Why we have website royalty, right?
Right.
Kim, has anyone ever told you that they tried to find something on your website and they just couldn't?
Okay, true story. Yesterday, this happened. We were looking for something for GME, and I gave the wrong link, and they couldn't find it. So it's true. It's important people can find you in the way that they need to. So yes, Jill, yes. Recently, yes.
Well, keep that question in mind for yourself as you're watching today, because in helping entrepreneurs be findable online, Denise Millay is digging into those website brick walls.
So I'm curious about you. You mentioned about dead ends on your website and not having a link to get somewhere else. Why is that such a bad thing when you're talking search engines?
When you're talking about search engines, we have these very smart programs that are reading the internet pages and sites all the time. We call them autonomous, so they're on autopilot. They are very smart when they're reading a page and they're trying to understand the context of what you're writing and what the main idea is. And they're putting all these things together. They have a formula, a way that they regard what they read and give it value to them internally. But those programs are just programs. So they're also looking at links on the page to know where to go next, or to know what's the next thing that's important or what's logical, right? So let's say they get to a blog post that you've put out there and there's no link back to the homepage, or there's no link to the next blog post. That program doesn't understand that you've made that mistake. It just hits a dead end and it says, well, I'm done.
Oh,
right. So yes, along the way, it's stored links, it's encountered, but it could get to the end and just say, well, done. That's it, because it's still just a program. Super smart, but just a program. And then when you think about a person, we don't want any frustration with our visitors. We don't, but that's friction. And we have very many options to choose for information. So if something's frustrating or it doesn't satisfy somebody, backlink, click out, close the window, move to the next one. So as a provider of information, or whatever you want to consider your website, your home, you want people to feel welcome and ultimately satisfied that they get what they need when they're there. And giving them a brick wall to walk into is like going down a hallway where there's no door at the end. You just smack into a wall and, oh, well, turn around, go back and out.
such great wisdom.
It really is. And I love the fact that she picks apart how the spiders are crawling. They're just programs. And then us as humans trying to search, we might have a little bit more patience than those spiders do to look for a button to click. But still, we're going to get frustrated. At least the spiders don't get frustrated. They just move on. But we might get frustrated. And it really serves us well when we're having to think about this change. Because I know for me, like, I set my website up. You tell me there's something wrong. I'm like, well, I don't want to change it. But I have to remember it's not about me. It's about you who are visiting my website. Right?
Exactly.
So, it can be confusing. We might not want to make these changes, but Denise does make it easy for us in her SEO Day podcast, where if you join her on Tuesdays, you can make Tuesday your SEO day and listen to the tips that she's got. She's answering questions from entrepreneurs, from people who are building websites, questioning what the heck to do with SEO and how to use it to their best ability. And then you could spend just a few minutes with her listening to those each week as you work on your SEO and make some changes, even though they might not be enjoyable, to your site to make it easier for your visitors to not hit brick walls.
I love the podcast, and you can submit questions. You can stay anonymous if you don't want, or you get a shout out if you do, say we can use your name. So I think that that's a I think that's another thing, but Tuesdays, mark Tuesdays on your calendar. That's your SEO day.
Love it. Yes. And Kim joins Denise there too.
The official mailbag keeper. We got to get the name right.
No, I'm always afraid. I'm going to mess it up. But as Denise just showed us, it's not enough for a website to look good on the surface if people are still having dead ends underneath. Entrepreneurs, we love to change names of titles and labels, thinking a new name will create a new feeling. But if nothing underneath changes, it usually still comes across the same, right? Kim, have you ever tried to fix something in your business by giving it a new name only to find out it was still the same old thing underneath?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The problem with changing the title, I will just say this, is sometimes as entrepreneurs, we think that is the fix, and that's the only change we're willing to do.
Yeah.
It gets kind of scary, Jill, when we get hard-headed.
I know. I have another question, though. Do you think your audience could feel that nothing really changed, even though the name did?
I think our audience is brilliant. So I am positive that they catch us at every turn, whatever we're doing. And I think that that's a testament to entrepreneurs. I think they're extremely smart. They catch things. So yes.
Well, in our surprise and delight marketing segment, Donna Bender is looking at what actually needs to change if we want people to truly feel surprised and delighted.
Thanks, Kim and Carrie. This is Donna Bender coming to you today as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. Today's surprise and delight marketing segment is on what's in a name, words to describe branded products. To be clear, a branded product is a tangible physical item used to promote you and your company. And you may have heard me say this many, many times that the right branded product used with the right intention and given to the right audience can, in fact, increase your business. So over the last many years, there have been several words that have been used to describe these items as well. So here are the top 10. Logoed items, promos, specialty advertising, branded marketing, swag, branded products, promotional products, merch, and my least favorite word, tchotchkes. Why? Well, besides the hair on the back of my neck going up every time I hear that word, if you look up the definition of the word tchotchke, you will see that it says a small, cheap, ornamental trinket or souvenir, a knickknack. So, if you're giving away a small, cheap, ornamental trinket or knickknack, what does that say about your company? Hollywood and influencers have really cornered the word swag. What did you get in your swag bag? What are you putting in your swag bag? Oh my God, I need to find something to put in the golf swag bag. And over the past several years, the word that's getting more and more attention is the word merch. And when I see this changing in my industry, the industry that provides all the products, well, then you know you will be seeing it more and more. But here's the bottom line. It really doesn't matter what you call them, except the word I really don't like. If it is the right branded product that people want to use and keep, they will build successful relationships that will increase your business. Back to you in the GME studios.
I just love the word tchotchke because it's fun to say. I totally understand her disdain for the word, though.
We don't want to be a cheap brand, Jill.
No. And I do love that. And that's why I talk so much about it beforehand, because, it looks and sounds cheap still, even with a funny name. Like you got to be careful of how you're presenting the things that you want people to remember you by, because we up-leveled swag bag, I think fancy stuff in that bag, and what happens when you come up with the tchotchke in it. So it's something to be aware of. And Donna does a great job of helping us find really great products to use in those kinds of gift bags for our employees, for our clients, for events at her big show and tell that she hosts on her YouTube channel at Donna Bender Giving. Go check it out. It's every last Tuesday of the month. Her next one is April 28th, and that's at 12 p.m. Mountain, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern.
I'll just give a throwback to the last one, Jill, for a second. There might have been bunny rabbits and talking sunflowers, but the strategy behind things get you big results in unexpected ways. And she talked about all that on the last month. So don't miss that one either. Be there for the new one, but don't miss the last one.
It's a fun time learning how to be strategic in giving. Like,
Yes.
how can you go wrong with sharing your gratefulness to someone?
Exactly.
So go watch some replays and tune in for the next one. And sometimes when something doesn't land right away, kind of like those tchotchkes, right? We can rush into changing the name or making a quick tweak just to feel like we're doing something. Kim, you often talk about how we have to slow down in order to speed up, especially when it comes to momentum in our business. Do you feel like you make decisions differently in your business now versus when you did, say, like 10 years ago?
Oh my goodness. I definitely make better decisions today than 10 years ago. How much have I learned in the last 10 years? Like, that's important to think about. We learn every day. So I think of the quote that Denise quotes all the time of Maya Angelou, when you know better, you do better. I think that's what happens if we're open to change and not hard-headed and closed off, which I can be both. Change, again, flexibility might mean some of the things that I've had to do in order to do better, like changing how often I show up, shifting to a platform that actually feels better for me to post on, simplifying a plan that's too heavy. I can make the wildest, heaviest plans on the planet. I will own that. That's my nature to do that. But when I pare them back, that changing of them actually makes it doable. So I've done all these things, Jill. Besides, when you give yourself permission to change, here's the other part, you're more likely to stay consistent and long term. And I have definitely been here long term.
You have. Well, those changes that you're talking about, Kim, and how we decide what can be a real advantage. Well, it can be a real advantage in entrepreneurship. Oh my gosh, my words today. In our next segment, Entrepreneurs Later in Life, Yvonne Marchese is going to be telling us more about those changes.
Thanks, Kim. This is Yvonne Marchese, your resident age agitator, here to talk about later in life entrepreneurship. We live in a culture that glorifies speed, fast growth, fast pivots, fast scaling. But later in life, something changes internally. We don't move fast just to move fast. We move thoughtfully. And that's not hesitation, that's discernment. When you're navigating careers, families, economic shifts, and reinventions, you recognize patterns. You know when something feels aligned and when it doesn't. Slower decision making often leads to fewer mistakes, cleaner pivots, and more sustainable growth. So, speed might win the headlines, but wisdom builds longevity. And longevity, that's the game in entrepreneurship. We're in it to win it, baby. That's all for now. Back to you in the studio.
We are in it to win it, baby. Like, I love that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this world glorifies speed right now, and that there's that desire for everything instantly to happen, and we want our businesses to instantly be successful. But I love that it's really, if we make some changes, we move thoughtfully, that discernment, and there's just fewer mistakes, there's sustainable growth. I love those pieces that she shared with us.
Always got such great wisdom.
Yeah, and you can find more of that wisdom in Yvonne's podcast, Late Bloomer Living. You can find it on all the podcatchers, but she gets to sit down with some amazing people to talk more about how they're finding this kind of wisdom in their own businesses. And she has conversations on her own as well, but it's very thoughtful, provoking podcast conversations about our own businesses, what the things are that we're doing to be more wise, discerning, and to slow down kind of, and how we're keeping ourselves on a pace to be sustainable.
Well, after 6 seasons and 260 plus podcasts, I think she's bringing it. It's definitely binge worthy. There's a lot
Yep.
of good that has come out of that.
Yes. I recently got to talk to her about her podcast too. And she mentioned she loves binge-worthy podcasts. And I love that her podcast is a binge-worthy podcast. So go spend some time listening to her.
And all the podcatchers.
Yes.
Well, being willing to change sometimes, and I think Yvonne gives a nod to this in a lot of her segments. It can also mean not bringing chaos with us. So if we're going to change something, we have a choice to take the chaos away from something that's actually a great change. Still uncomfortable, but a great change. It doesn't mean constantly starting over. And I think that's one of the things she's brought to the last many segments is it means making small intentional shifts for the better, not, blowing up your whole business.
Yeah.
But what is causing you pain? What can you change?
Yeah. And since we've been talking about making wiser decisions and playing the long game, one of the best ways to do that is to stay in real conversations with other entrepreneurs who are figuring it out too. Our Fierce Entrepreneur Summit is coming up next Wednesday, April 15th, right here, where you are watching for GME, wherever you're streaming it live or watching the replay. You can join us at 10 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Central, or 12 p.m. Eastern, again on April 15th for this wonderful conversation.
Well, and the nod that you just gave to talking to Yvonne about it is, we're going to have a few clips in this one from Yvonne because she's actually speaking on a big stage and can't be live with us. So we're excited that we still get to hear her story and her things about the pros and cons of her podcast for her business. So very sexy conversation, Jill.
Yes, it will be. A little bit more information about the summit. It will be emceed by us, myself and Kim. I'm very excited to be doing with you, Kim, this year. Well, this quarter.
Me too, Jill.
Yeah, it's also going to be a roundtable discussion led by Denise Millay and Cat Corchado. And our theme this quarter is pros and cons of podcasts, shows, or live streams for your business. So you can join us. This is your invitation. Join us. Let us know you'll be there. Chat in the chat with us. Wherever you're watching from GME next Wednesday.
Well, and we have to give a quick shout out because Adam is the coordinator of the summit. And he also handles questions and comments and things so that we can integrate them into the show live.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to give a big shout out to Adam Rothenberg, who he just does a phenomenal job of keeping us all on track. So Let me just say that. Well, you are tuning into Good Morning Entrepreneur, show number 144. Again, today's theme is change. And one of the things I want to change around here is if you're not already connecting with the roving reporters, I think you should do that. If you're on a TV or a computer screen, get your phone out. The QR code's up there. You can go straight to the directory. If you are on your phone and you need a different way, go to mysexybusiness.com. You'll find a tile that has GME on it. If you go to that tile, it'll take you to the directory. Just scroll down on the GME page and you'll find the big red button that says, hey, connect with me. Oh, no, it doesn't say that, but it should. So connect with the roving reporters. They're amazing humans.
Mm-hmm. With all of the changes that entrepreneurs navigate, gosh, sorry, pregnancy brain has just tongue-tied me today. So there are always new questions that we have popping up, right? The show is a great place to bring them and actually get them answered. So we're going to head into this week's question of the week. That is, why do I need to be open to change when I have always done it this way?
Whew. So I'm going to give a little bit of a picture real quick. Us entrepreneurs are tenacious. That is who we are. If you're not tenacious, you won't make it in business. Like, I think that that's just a true statement. But the other side of that same coin is we are hard-headed. And so you have to be careful which side of the coin you're living your life on. So if you're doing, if what you're doing is working amazingly well and you have no pain points, then continue on, my friend. Like, that is not the thing that we have experienced. So continue on. But if it ever feels heavy or overwhelming, when you wake up, you're not excited, you'll be doing whatever it is. Those are some real feelings we have around here. Then maybe be open to change, because it could make a better experience for you and truthfully those around you. When we're crabby to our family because we're under so much pressure with our business, that ripples out. I'll just say that ripples out. So before changing everything, I'm going to go back to this, Jill. Before changing everything, don't blow up everything. Ask yourself, what is one thing I can tweak before I throw this out? So something's not working. See what is really causing the pain, because a lot of times it's not the thing we think it is. I'll say that. So keep what's working, drop what clearly isn't, and we call them pain points. If you are having pain points, you know it because you have those feels. You have those things that are like yucky. Try one change at a time so you can see what helped before reinventing the wheel over and over. And being open to change means you're walking on the tenacious, I'm going to figure this out side, versus the hard-headed, I've always done it this way and I'm not changing.
Sometimes the hard-headed also changes too much. That's me, because I might be open to change, right? And it's about updating, not erasing what you've already built. And I might just be like, start over. But,
no.
Yeah. What helps me is that I remember that our customers are changing. We're getting new ones, or they're changing themselves, going through different seasons too. So staying open to change is how we stay relevant to them. And sometimes fear causes us to not want to change. It feels safe and familiar to stay where we're at, what we've already built or done. And familiar doesn't always mean effective. It just means familiar. So keeping those in mind.
Great points.
But talking about being open to change can crank the pressure up, right? So we start feeling like every decision, every tweak, every move has to be perfect, or everything else will fall apart. Change has a way of turning up the pressure for entrepreneurs, because I know it does for me. So if you're like me, we're in the same boat. But we start treating then every decision and every moment like it's life or death for the business. Like, oh my gosh, do I really need to do this? But some things just aren't worth the stress. I know I don't need any more stress in my life, and you watching, you don't need any more stress in your life either. So in our entrepreneurs and entertainment segment, Adam Rothenberg is sharing a perspective from the entertainment world.
Thanks, Kim. It's Adam. And for today's Entrepreneurs and Entertainment segment, I wanted to share an excerpt from my 2019 interview with one of my entertainment idols, the legendary stand-up comedian, Rita Rudner. In this clip, I feel what Rita had to say about how not to stress about everything in life is great advice for every entrepreneur, business owner, and creator.
So what's one characteristic of Wendy's you're glad that you don't possess yourself?
I have this theory in my life that if something isn't important, don't stress about it. Because who cares, you know? So who cares? I mean, this woman is crazy, and she watches the Travel Channel, and she's afraid the hotel didn't change the sheets. She brings her own sheets, she brings her own towels, she disinfects everything. I mean, I sit next to these people on planes, and they practically take a shower in the seat next to me. You know, they're wiping everything down. This woman next to me on the plane to New York, she gave me wipes and said, I think you should wipe yours too. I said, okay, if you want me to wipe it, I'll wipe it, but you know, I'm good. So I don't really I think you should stress about things that are important. And I think that's why I've been married for 31 years, because I ignore a lot of things. And unless it's important, don't focus on it.
Yeah.
So I go, and with a teenager, it's hard because you can't fight about everything.
Right.
And that is today's Entrepreneurs in Entertainment segment. It's back to you in the GME studio.
My goodness, such wisdom.
I just got a lot of wisdom for my future.
I love that.
Right.
Well, if you want to listen to the rest of the interview, I'm going to say go on over to callmeadam.com and click interviews at the top. You'll come to the page where you can find so much wisdom, so many funny things, just interesting. If you're curious at all, like we are, it's just a fun destination for entertainment. And Adam does a phenomenal job of, just getting these interviews for us to consume. He has things that are for readers. He has, things for listeners with his podcast. He has things for watchers with, this kind of video with the interviews. So head over there. You will not be disappointed.
Not one bit. Nope.
Well, when routines or plans have to shift, it's easy to feel like we're dropping the ball instead of growing. I know I feel like this. I have to check myself. So often the first reaction is, I'm doing it wrong, instead of I'm growing. So in our Mama Entrepreneur segment, Jill, my sweet co-host, is digging into how motherhood forces change and how entrepreneurship can actually help us trust that change.
Thanks, Kim. When we are in our roles as mom or entrepreneur, we get sucked into thinking that we have to do it all. But motherhood forces us to change. It forces us to look at things a little bit differently. Entrepreneurship teaches us to trust it. In motherhood, I did not think that I wouldn't be able to do it all. I thought I could. So it really changed how I thought I was able to really do the things I wanted to do. And in my business, being that it happened at the same time, especially, it definitely followed that same path of forcing me to change and to shift how I viewed what I was capable of doing at one time. Because I resisted that change for a while, and it did create burnout and guilt for me. I tried working at times where it wasn't possible. Just, I needed to slow down. And I didn't want to feel like a failure, because when change happens, that's how we feel. But it's not true. It's actually information. We're learning more about what is happening around us. I learned to pivot with the seasons instead of fighting them. I learned that I need to follow my son's schedule instead of following everyone else's schedule of the year. So I learned to take off for my summers, because that's when I'm going to have most of my focus on my son. I'm going to be learning to take off a little bit more time coming up to take care of another child on top of just my son. And it is exciting to understand that more, because definitely growth has happened when I've trusted that change instead of fearing it. So I hope that you can start implementing some of these shifts to understand that change isn't failure, and that you can grow even when things have to shift a little. Back to you in the GME studio.
My goodness, you're so brilliant, Jill, all the time. But when change happens, we can feel like a failure is a great quote of yours, because trusting change does equal growth. We can grow even when we have to change. And I think a great example of that change is actually happening right now, which is Mama Outspoken podcast. It's on all the podcatchers. You should go follow the show. But Jill, I am so proud of what you and your husband, Bobby, do on this podcast of having such real and raw conversations. I think any mama in the entire world, or anyone who wants to understand family whatsoever, should go and hear these conversations and see what, you guys are being vulnerable.
Yeah, it's like a peek into our window.
That's exactly. If you want to peek into Jill's life, go to all the podcatchers, Mama Outspoken podcast. Well, giving yourself grace, which requires a lot of grace whenever you're control freaky, like Jill keeps mentioning we are, because we are. Giving yourself grace to change means being flexible with us. and the stories we tell ourselves, because we can tell ourselves some pretty bad stories. I'll just say that. Jill, you're spot on with changing the thoughts in our heads from, I should have had this figured out by now, to I'm allowed to learn and adjust as I go. I can figure this out. Something I have used to shift my thinking is actually a vision board. It helped me see with my eyes changes I needed to make in order to get what I really wanted. So, sweet watcher, do you know that you can change your mind about who you serve, what you offer, how you show up without needing a big explanation or apology? All of those things have changed for me over the years. And quite frankly, I found great success after those changes happened. So the longer I waited to change, the farther away my success was. So I feel like that's something to be, just given as living proof. Please consider this our personal invitation to the life you want. Join us for the Vision Board Party, where our amazing hostess, again, my beautiful co-host, Jill Olish, here with me today, does such an incredible job with a quick example, a few instructions, and then we get busy dreaming up what we want. It's not just woo-woo either. It really works.
It does work. It does. So join us for the Vision Board Party, April 29th at 10 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. It's actually inside our Groundwork Brigade Mastermind space. So it's midday. Come join us. You are welcome into the My Sexy Business community to change your life too.
And if you could throw the QR code up really quickly for the community, just for the easy button to get in. If you go sign up for the community, you will go inside and find the meetup and the, you can RSVP so that we know you're coming, all of the good stuff. So thank you.
We hope to see you there.
That's right.
Yeah. So motherhood and entrepreneurship, they both bring a lot of change, as we have seen. I had a lot to say about that. And we carry that in our bodies too. So with all the change entrepreneurs juggle, a lot of it happens sitting at a desk, staring at a screen. Our businesses are moving, but our bodies often are not. So for this health and wellness entrepreneurs segment, we asked Cat Corchado to give us something simple we can actually do in the middle of a workday. She's going to walk us through a quick seated stretch you can try right now, wherever you're watching.
Thanks, Kim. Hi, everyone. This week's stretch is about the outer part of the hip, where you can really get some sciaticas and stretching some of the muscles that surround the hip joint. So you're going to cross one leg over the other and place an elbow right in the crease of the knee, and that hand can go right on top of your other hand. Now just sit up tall. Some people, this might be a huge stretch, just this. If you want a little bit more, take your elbow and press your knee down gently and then lean forward. And release. Switch sides. You always want to do both sides because it feels different. So same thing, sitting up tall, this might be a good stretch for you already. If you want a little bit more, press the elbow into the knee gently, lean forward. That's a huge stretch. And release. Please make sure all of these stretches that I do on GME are appropriate for your body. So until next time, back to you in the GME studio.
I know for me that is super helpful because my hips are changing now in pregnancy. So while I'm sitting so much, I feel the pain already. So but, these are great ways to experience some stretches that Kat can provide for you, as well as what she has coming up next in her 11-minute fitness challenge. It is the week of April 20th that you can go sign up for at smallspacepilates.com. She'll have an easy button right at the top. This is an old picture of her website. So you got the old month here, but it will be updated when you get there this week to go sign up. Make sure you do, because these workouts, even though they're 11 minutes, they are intense, but also doable. It is so incredible because even me as a 22-week pregnant woman can do these exercises right along with the best person in shape. So don't be afraid to sign up. Kat does a great job helping you through them.
She modifies things so well and like helps us all get started and get back on track or whatever it is we need.
Yep. All it costs is your email. So go join her for that week. And some of us you'll see there too. But change doesn't just show up in our bodies, right? It shows up in our everyday stories too. The wins, the flops, and the I can't believe I did that moments. if you want to hear more real conversations about change in business, just like you hear here on Good Morning Entrepreneurs, you can check out the Buckets and Boom Gates podcast, where Kim and I, again, are hosts together. We share real confessions and real life examples from entrepreneurial adventure of our own, as well as some of the other entrepreneurs that we know. It's a deeper dive into the messy, honest side of building a business while everything around you keeps shifting.
that shifting of the sands. Well, flexibility with yourself makes it easier to be flexible with your plans. So find one thing that you're willing to officially give yourself permission to change. And this is kind of what the podcast is all about, helping you find a way to do something you're wanting to do. Find one thing that is a pain point for you now that you can make lighter and more realistic. And I'm going to challenge you, go listen to the podcast, because we give challenges all the time about tiny little things you can do that will make your life better and your business. But ultimately, our businesses are built so it supports the life we want to live. So,
yep. Sexy business, sexy life.
That's right.
Change can bring a lot of hard things and fears with it, but it can also make room for momentum and good things. Often that means learning new things, including words or principles that feel a little hard or unfamiliar at first. So let's head into Princess Speak, where we'll break down some of those words or principles so that they're a little easier to understand and easier to use.
Let's see if I can keep my crown on my head today. So Princess Speak is a simple business language for entrepreneurs and business owners we use on the daily. This is one of my favorite phrases ever, and not because I like the meaning of it, but I'll just tell you it's so funny. You meet people and you have this in your head rolling around. Oh, they're all knowed up. That's our phrase for today. So all knowed up means they're not open to change. They know everything. Their way's the only way. They're not considering the changes or opportunities around them because they're always right. They always know everything. You can't tell them anything. So I think this is a terrible phrase, and it's one of my favorites at the same time. So if you're all knowed up, know that you can change your all knowed upness to being open to change.
I love this phrase myself, Kim, and I'll tell you the first time you said it to me, I did not know. No, see, we're going to use the spelling here. It's KNOW, because I thought NO''D, because they're about the same. When you're not open to change, you are knowed up. You are going to say no to those things. So for me, it was very funny because I was like, yeah, I am all knowed up, not realizing it was the knowledge up.
I love that.
And being all knowed up is also another way to say you're afraid. When you know so many things and you protect yourself by your knowledge and what you think you know, because it gives you an armor. It's vulnerable to open up and say, geez, I don't know that, or open up to listen to somebody else. So I'm going to challenge everybody to think about that too. Being all knowed up isn't necessarily you're not a good person. It just means that you've learned to protect yourself by knowing so much that you're not open. And
Great ad, Denise.
I love that correlation between being knowed up and resistant to change. And I think I've seen this so many times, so many instances in the fitness industry of people who are like, no, I'm good. Even though I'm trying to tell them something that's good for their body, they're like, I'm okay with that. And I'm like, okay. So I understand being all knowed up. And I want to say, maybe when I was younger, I thought I was all knowed up. But as you get older, you realize so many things you don't know. So I am not knowed up, not the other one. But I think it's interesting to keep asking, what if? When someone says, hey, here's a suggestion, you're like, oh, I don't know. And you're like, well, what if I tried that and it made it easier? Or what if I tried that and it was safer? Or whatever that instance is for you. So I think being knowed up is not a good thing, because eventually you're going to have to change in order to increase your ROI on your business. Ooh. Ooh.
Good job, Cat.
That is a mic drop. When you're all, I'm just gonna say, when you're all knowed up, you are like the Kelly Clarkson song, Mr. Know-It-All. Well, you think you know it all, but you don't know a thing at all.
Ooh, that's some serious. And just for the record, we have tech issues around here, just like everybody else does. Cat's obviously her internet clicked off, so she'll be back. Don't worry. But before we roll out today, I just want to say I have a sexy challenge for everyone. I have to say, I love the noise. Are you willing to practice flexible leadership this week wrapped around change? This can be scary, just like was mentioned, but I want you to name one thing that isn't working well anymore. Maybe it worked well before, but it's not working. You're finding yourself you have some pain points around it. Ask yourself, what part of my business or routine feels heavy, forced, or outdated right now? What is one small change I can make to this that would feel less painful and more realistic? Maybe it's the season you're in. Just remember, it's not a failure. Maybe your change is not to post every single day on all the socials, but be more intentional with 2 or 3 times a week. Maybe you stop using a platform and remove that app from your phone. I did that not very long ago, and it was very freeing because that app didn't really fit anymore. Maybe you change how you write your blogs or emails, and you make them shorter check-ins instead of long lists of how-tos. Keep it simple and make it doable, not heavy. I also think if you write a reminder on a sticky note and put it where you can see it that says, I am allowed to change things in my business as I grow. And speaking of growing, share the show with someone this week that needs to hear the message about change. Sometimes we all get stuck in that all knowed up mode and need someone to help us see a different way. So we are honored you are here with us today, or you're watching the replay. Hit subscribe, follow the show, and we'll see you, sweet watcher, next week. Love y'all. Join us next Friday at 7 a.m. Central.
This is the team signing off for Good Morning Entrepreneurs.